This morning, whenever I heard that there was a full-blown invasion, the Russian invasion within the Ukraine, which we have highly anticipated, and I've been telling everybody for months that this was going to happen. Prophetically for this new year, a big part of the word that I have been giving extensively is that it's a year of incredible warfare. There are 6 verses in the Bible that are 2022 verses that are declarations of war. And I've been saying there's going to be a lot of warfare. Today, sadly, on this day, Russia literally invaded Ukraine, full-blown invasion. They began to bomb the military posts that were there. And all of my friends woke up this morning and went, wow. One of my pastors went out, stood out on his front porch and looked out at these big black pillars of smoke as these bombs were going off very close to his house. And he said that he saw maybe 100, maybe even 200 helicopters filled full of troops, of Russian troops, fly right over his house. He said he actually made eye contact with a bunch of them, just watched them as they were hanging out the sides of the helicopter, like, what the heck? And then he could see where they were landing. In that town, Melitopol, they're completely surrounded. People don't know if it's safer. Should we stay? Like, well, why wouldn't you stay? Because they're being bombed is why. And also too, because they're being invaded. Or should they get on the road and try and make it to the border because they don't know what's going to happen when they come across the troops? And they will come across the troops. Unless the Lord just blinds their eyes, man, they will come across those troops. And it is a mess. And so everyone is going to the churches. All the Christians are headed to the churches and they're like, can we stay here at the house? Can we stay here at the church and just live here? Because we live on a 2nd or 3rd or 4th story apartment building and it's not safe. Our buildings are being bombed. There is no food in any of the grocery stores. There is no medicines in any of the pharmacies. There's not a single business that is open. The highways are either completely empty or they are completely jam-packed. There is no middle ground here. Every single Christian that is in Ukraine, I should say this, every church leader is trying to decide how can they get their friends and their family out, while many of them are deciding, hey, we have to stay because we have to lead. Our nation needs us. And again, I gave that report on the 14th to tell you guys about that. Tim McGill just got back. Pastor Tim McGill, Cindy McGill's husband, he's a pastor on staff at my church, which is Open Door Church. He just got back last week from the Ukraine. And he's going to be with me on Sunday. And we're going to talk about everything that he knows has happened. And then how do we stand with the body of King Jesus? But imagine this. Imagine you are a church leader and everybody and their dog is coming to you. One of my churches today spent $9,000 just on gas, on buying gasoline for people. They show up and they're like, Pastor, we have what little possessions we can gather. We have all 4 of our kids. We are in this car and we've got somebody on the other side of the border and we're headed there, but we don't even have the gas to get there. Can you imagine being so poor that you don't even have the gas to get somewhere in the midst of a crisis where Russia is invading and stealing absolutely everything that there is to steal? You know, the whole world was outraged whenever Iraq invaded that little bitty tiny country and came in and stole everything. And then they got caught on the highway by the Americans on the way out. Oh, man. I want to just tell you guys, there needs to be profound outrage over this thing. The liberal media, which I've been so mad about over the past couple of months, like, why have they moved this to the back burner? And why are we talking about, oh, look at how beautiful the Olympics are, when this is actually happening there? And there's 40 million people in that nation. 40 million people. 40 million. That right now, whether they're believers or not, or unbelievers, they're looking at that world. They're looking at that world and it's already nighttime. They're not knowing if they are going to survive this night. The last conversation that I had with the pastor was literally, pray for us that we survive the night. And I'm like, we will pray for you. We will pray for you and we will stand with you. And I'm sending a lot of money your way because we have to get those Christians who are able to get out of the country. Let's get them out. Let's get them out. The people that are not able to leave the country, and for the leaders there, that are having to make the hard decisions on, should we stay? Should we join the fight? Should we stay neutral? All of those, there's different opinions and tremendous decisions that must be made. The pastors that are like, I feel like in my spirit, I need to stay just for the sake of my church, but I'm not allowed to gather with my church now. There's no people to gather. Everybody is scattered and everybody is held up. And Pastor Troy, I don't know what to do. There's no food in any of the grocery stores. There's no gas at any of the gas stations. Everybody's credit cards are still working, but there was a tremendous cyber attack that happened today. And like I say, WhatsApp was completely, I have about a dozen, maybe 14 people that I talk to all the time through WhatsApp. They're not even on I don't even see the record that I've even spoken to them in the past. They're all gone off of my phone. Like, I didn't even know that was possible. Like, wowzers. So there's one pastor friend of mine, and he's in Kiev. He has a 5-year-old daughter, an 8-year-old daughter, and a 12-year-old daughter. And he doesn't even have a car. He's like, hey man, we use a motorcycle to get around, and there's no way that we can do that right now. And I don't know what we can do. We have some friends in Norway that have offered us to let us come and stay with them, but we would have to go to Poland and then cross the border at Poland and then make it to Norway from there. And we can't do that on a motorcycle with a family of 5. You just can't do that. And I'm like, okay, friends, the body of Jesus needs to stand up. I want to tell you, man, Open Door Church and Troy Brewer Ministries is not going to be the only ministry that is standing with these people and moving a ton of money to these guys and getting these people taken care of, feeding the people that are staying there, and actually equipping the people that are getting out. There's going to be a ton of ministries that are doing that. But I want to tell you, I hope that there's enough. I hope that there's enough. I hope that people will take this seriously. I've been to Ukraine many times. I've been to 53 different nations. I'm going to be in Uganda next month. I'm going to be in Israel later on, blah, blah, blah. We do all this stuff, right? But I can just tell you, these people are just like you. They're just like me. They're just like us. And that's the thing that I try and tell everybody all over the world, that, when we're in Africa and you see a mama and her kids are naked, that mama doesn't want her kids naked. I promise you, they're just like us. They're human beings. And these people, and you get in their shoes for 1 minute, just for 1 minute, and just go, what would it be like if I was in that situation and people walked past me and would not help me? The body of Jesus had better get wise about showing how to make a difference. This is how we can make a tangible difference. And this is how we stand unified in prayer.